Welcome to Chester Boughton Hall Cricket Club, and here we are with the final day of the 2018 World Series of Last Man Stands, and it's quarter-final time. I'm in the box here with LMS founder Wayne Grieve. Good morning, Wayne.
Good morning, Lee. Very, very wet outfield. Once again, shout out to Alex Kegg and Chester Boughton Hall for getting these facilities ready. It didn't look like we had a chance 45 minutes ago, and somehow we out here about to start a game.
Yeah, the outfield is wet, but it certainly won't dampen the spirits of the players here as we look to find the winner of this World Series. So obviously yesterday, maybe a surprise to most, South Africa don't make it to this finals day. Singapore were extremely excited this morning. They're on pitch 2 over against the Pakistani team. And it's India versus Australia on pitch 1 here, live on Facebook.
So opening the bowling for India is Praveen. He plays for the BB Gunners in Chennai. He's the only player from Chennai in the Indian side.
India will be buoyed today by the fact that Wasim Jaffer has made it here for finals. I know some of the India team were maybe just checking that with some of your colleagues, Wayne.
Yeah, Wasim Jaffer is back. He sorted out his car problems from the other day.
So India will hope they're on full throttle in this match, Wayne.
Yeah, they've got better as the tournament has progressed. Who would you say is favourites in this match, Lee?
I think Australia will be favourites. I think batting first here, very, very wet ball in this first innings. It may dry out fractionally. I think the India team will feel fortunate they've made it to this stage, so maybe their confidence levels will be higher, but I think Australia, obviously a big win yesterday over South Africa. They had a bit of a blip at the start of the week, but they seem to be coming back strong. Yeah,
they were very impressive yesterday against South Africa. The fielding was outstanding. The intensity levels were superb, and they're getting stronger as the tournament goes on.
So slight change here. This is Nathan Tyrrell, number 89, as Praveen comes running in there, and that's gone down to long off.
So Lee, this is an 18 over game. It's been reduced to 18 overs, as is the game on pitch 2. We've lost a bit of time in the day, and there's talk of thunderstorms late this afternoon.
So just bowling well within himself here, Praveen. He's just making sure that he gets the ball in the right areas here. I think the batsman could really be pushing the 2s. Very wet in the outfield. Tough to set off. Best place to be running on this ground is bang on that wicket there, which is bone dry after being covered well overnight. It's a really nice shot there. I reckon that'll skid on, and that is, and that's the first boundary of the day. Lovely shot by Tyrrell.
Great hands there from Tyrrell.
So obviously we've seen Brodie Dwyer opening the batting an awful lot so far in this competition for Australia. Australia go into the quarterfinals and made a change straight away, Wayno.
They brought in Matt Angus from Adelaide. The big hit in Matt Angus. Offers an option with the ball as well.
It's a nice shot out to the deep. Captain Rahul Kohli will pick it up and bowl it in.
For those of you following the Singapore-Pakistan game, the live scores are running. We'll be crossing over to that game every now and then. Singapore have just lost their first wicket, clean bowled. We're fortunate enough from the commentary tent to be able to have a view of both pitches.
That's not an ideal start there for the bowler.
It got what it deserved. It was a tossed up.
Vahab, who actually has been really, really impressive in this tournament, predominantly with the bat, but he's given that a bit too much loop here. I think some of the Indian fielders just need to get a little bit more savvy here. They keep on bowling the ball into the bowler with 2 or 3 bounces, so he's spending a lot of time having to get the ball nice and dry. Not ideal for a spinner. Flatter this time. So obviously there'll be people all around the world here, either staying up late or getting up early to watch this match. I'm sure there's a few people back in India. We've had some amazing online support, and I'm sure there's a few people close to last man stands as well, as that's a very loose ball again from Vahab.
So it's not easy for a leg spinner starting here in these conditions. I'm surprised they've gone with leg spin early doors here.
There must be a couple of people in India watching, Wayne.
Yes,
friends of yours.
Just had a text message from Vinod Kambli to say wishes the Indian boys best of luck. He's tuned in watching this game.
So just for some young spinners watching, when the ball's wet like this, really, in an ideal world, you'd just be undercutting the ball, which really isn't what a spin bowler's job normally is. You'd probably be a little bit flatter, minimise the risk. As soon as you start throwing it in the air, there's the option for you not to get the grip. It'll slip out your hand, and that's where you maybe can overpitch. So he's just gone a little bit flatter here, Vahab. And that's gone high into the deep. There could be a catch. But it's our first 6 of the morning.
So Australia off to a flyer here.
Srinivasa getting down on one leg and just sweeping it beautifully behind square towards the canal, which just took a bit of a beating this week.
Yeah, the Indian team have got an injury problem. They're missing quite a few players, mainly their seam attack. So they literally have 1 seamer, and he's a part-time seamer, and 4 spinners. We look at the draw for today. England and Sri Lanka top in their group, so they're ready through to the semi-finals.
I think that's a massive advantage for someone, Wayne, finishing top of that group. Gives them the morning off.
I think the England guys are still in bed in their hotel rooms.
It's a good bit of bowling there through to Meg. We've got a very good 60 on Friday.
Yeah, he's been impressive behind the stumps. You saw a good leg side take from him early on in the previous over.
That was off 21 balls against New Zealand. As the ball goes into Tyrrell. Tyrrell looks a strong boy here. He's just lent on that ball. They're going to come back for 2. And that's exactly what we were talking about at the start of this innings. There's definite opportunity for 2 here, and India need to get out of bed, as Australia have started well here, Wayne.
Yeah, these conditions are definitely going to suit Australia more than they will India. Ball's just skidding on. So if you've got any pace in your attack, Connell's going to enjoy bowling on this wicket.
That's a wide. Yeah, the Indian team just look like they haven't quite got going here, which is frustrating. But they're going to be turning shortly to the main man for them in Dwidge. He's been an outstanding spin bowler for them. Hopefully this wet weather won't affect it. But this is a really solid start from Australia. They'll be really happy with it. And Australia have got a number of options to come in later down the order as well. So the bigger platform that can be set from this opening pair, then a big score could be scored.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see when Wasim Jaffer comes into the attack.
Massive shout here.
Let's give
and
it
it's gone. Srinivasa gets down to try and repeat the dose there. He's misread the line, misread the length, and the umpire believes that that was going to go on and crash into the stumps, and that's the first wicket for India.
We're going to get a slow motion here. Give us your views. Is this out? I say this is hitting leg stump.
Slow ball. That's a really decent shout. I'm going to say that that's just going to run on and hit the leg stump though, Wayno.
I'm agreeing with that. I think there's 3 reds there.
So that'll be pitched in line.
No bat.
No bat. Rock and roll it. And like in all cricket outside of first class, if you dare to sweep and you miss it, you will be gone. And that is the first wicket.
Just trying to take advantage of the short square boundary on the leg side there. Brisk start. And that brings the man of the moment, Matt Angus. He's been brought into the side. And a show of faith from the skipper, getting him straight up to number 3.
That's a great start there. Hit through the line beautifully here. So just a little technical thing. Obviously the Praveen here bowling well within himself. He's bowling pretty full. Raul Kohli's got the field set on the offside for earlier in the week where it was a lot quicker. Going a lot further behind square. He probably just needs to bring it round a little bit straighter on the offside.
Lee, the new bowler's Dwidge. I watched him bowl in the Indian National Champs in Goa. He was fantastic. What are your thoughts of him from your watching him so far in this tournament?
Well, with 11 wickets this week, he's been extremely impressive. And it's always good to see Dwidge bowling with his brother Meg behind the stumps. So I'm sure those two have got a great understanding. But he's certainly been the leading light in the Indian bowling attack. He's got great variation. Just blowing on his hands and his fingers there, obviously quite cold compared to home. As it comes in, back of a length, crashes into the pads. Meg chases after it, and that's a single. They know that Dwidge has been the main man here. The score on the back pitch, Singapore on 24 for 1 after 4 overs. So that's a solid start on the back. It'll be really interesting for some of the teams to work out what the par scores are here. I think obviously the ball's not going to travel as quickly over the ground, but it's going to be tougher to field on. So that may just cancel itself out just a little bit. Pakistan, looks like Mohammad Bhatti is bowling on the back. No Abdul Razak, he's gone back to Pakistan after 5 days here at the LMS. It's fantastic to have Abdul Razak here as Angus just rolls the ball down to third man. Raul Kohli runs round and they get 2.
So for those of you just joining the broadcast, there's been a lot of rain around. This game's been reduced to 18 overs a side. Last man stands T20 cricket, normally 20 overs, 5 ball overs. So this is the 90 ball match. What do you think is a good score here, Lee, in 90 balls?
90 ball game, I'd say 160. He's going to put, and that's gone high into the air. Fielder's coming in underneath it. And he's took it. That is a big, big wicket, and Dwidge is the man again.
Paul Dwidge caught Wasim Jaffer.
I'm sure he'll be happy with that. One of the legends of India Test cricket there. Just came in so calmly there and just pouched it. And Australia, well ahead of the run rate here, probably of where they wanted to be, but they've lost 2 wickets. So it'll be interesting to see who they send in next way and whether they're just going to look to consolidate or they're going to keep going.
I think Matt Angus was sent in with license there. He's a clean hitter of the ball, and Australia realising there's a reduced over game and there's a short boundary on the leg side. So I like their play. It didn't come off, but I think the thought process was good. Just Angus not executing that.
Still a lot of overs though, Wayne. I understand, take the 2 overs off. They want to be as positive as they can. But I definitely think, with 33 off, just 3 and a bit overs, if they can get up to near, say, 70, 75 off the first 10, it gives them the opportunity to go really hard for that last 10 overs.
I've sent in Marty Henderson now, so I think he will push the ball around a bit. He will offer good support.
Oh, straight away on the money, Dwidge, and that is a cruel, cruel way. for the bowler to concede 4. In 11 aside there, you probably have a slip in, but haven't got the luxury here in LMS, and that's 4.
So Matt Angus was brought in for Brodie Dwyer today. Marcus North will not be participating in finals day. Marcus felt that the boys that got them here deserves a chance, and Marty Henderson, I think, is going to be the go-to man for Australia here. Hugely experienced LMS player, and we're going to call him Australia's marquee player today. Got Indian supporters all over the world. Steve Maddock from Barnsley, huge India supporter. He's on the live feed here as we look at pitch 2.
That's Bakari bowling there. And he's bowling to Manpreet Singh, and that's 4. Singapore have done fantastically well here. They probably won't give them much of a hope to get out the group. And here they are. They've played some fantastic cricket. Been one of the best fielding sides on show so far. As Tyrrell punches that down to long off for a single.
And Wasim Jaffer comes into the attack. The score is 38 for 2 from 4.1 overs. A good start from Australia run rate was. It's going to be a little bit concerned about the wickets.
So Henderson 4 off 2 here. Tyrrell 16 off 12. There's an excellent start from Dwidge as Wasim Jaffer comes in, back of a length. Pretty slow through the air here. They're going to look for 2 surely. Marty Henderson really unhappy with Tyrrell there.
I'm not quite sure what he said, but he seemed disappointed there.
He wanted the run. They shouted come on at him there. But I think Tyrrell's looking to line up Jaffer here. It wouldn't surprise me if he goes downtown here. That's slow through the air and that's a wide. So using all his experience here, Wasim Jaffer, as the wind comes down from the Ronfleet end towards this City Road end. He's just thrown it into the wind here, letting the wind gather the pace and let Tyrrell hit into it.
So there's rain around today. On days like these, we need the weather specialists. We've looked at about 5 weather apps and everyone's giving us a different answer. Please give us your views. What is it going to do today? Is it going to rain again later?
So obviously you gave Sri Lanka on Thursday, Wayno, as your potential winners. Are you going to stick with them?
I think they're the favourites. I'm not saying they're going to win. I think
there we go.
Sorry. I think they've got a 1 in 6 chance from here. And after these games, they'll probably have a 1 in 4 chance. But they are the favourites. There's no doubt about that.
They look like a very settled side. A lot of experience in it. As Captain Raul Kohli brings himself into the game after 5 overs gone. Australia 43 for 2. Obviously, Wayne, with 18 overs aside, what's the script with the bowlers? Are they restricted any differently? Is the power play changing?
Yes, they're restricted. The power play overs, I'll get confirmation, I think remains the same for 18 over game, but definitely there's a maximum of 3 bowlers who can bowl 4 overs. So I think you saw India, they were going to go give Dwidge another one.
Oh, it's a lovely shot from Henderson. And he's just showing here. Obviously, they've really come out. Australia tried to hit the ball forcefully down the ground. And all he is doing is just rolling the ball off the bat face. And that's his second boundary for.
Yeah, the marquee player for Australia today, Marty Henderson. Everyone back home in Australia will be watching him closely. A lot of people who played last man stands cricket would have come across his face. His nickname is the GOAT.
As Coley comes in. Let's come back there, little misfield in the deep by Dwidge. So obviously with the poor weather today, we can only apologise to some of our Singapore and Pakistani viewers. I know they would have been wanting to watch their team, but they're on pitch 2 at the moment. We will be cutting across there as much as we can, because I know what a key game that is for both countries. And the prize for them is obviously to come back onto pitch 1 later for the live stream game.
So Marty Henderson, he deserves the opportunity here. One of the most capped players in the Australian team, one of the most capped LMS players globally. He scored 13,000 runs in LMS at an average of 68. He's almost reached his 400 wicket at an average of 20. Big match player. And he's one of those guys, the more intense the situation, the better he gets.
Good shot by Tyrrell. They've got to be looking for 2 again down here. Henderson just happy with the single. So if you're watching us on Facebook Live, we're here at Chester Boughton Hall Cricket Club in the north of England. And we're seeing a bit of northern weather here. Well overcast. A lot of rain overnight, but the groundsman Alex Kegg did a fantastic job to get us on as close to time as possible. And we're hoping that the weather will break so we have a fantastic finals day here in the Last Man Stands World Series 2018 finals day. So it's been a real solid start from Nathan Tyrrell here. 24 off 18. What do we know about Nathan Tyrrell, Wayne?
Nathan plays his cricket in Wollongong. He's topped the world batting rankings for 18 months in 2016. So he was the best ranked player globally for a very long time.
He got a very good 50 against Singapore earlier in the week as well.
His nickname's the Tiz. He's almost scored 6,000 runs at an average of 84, 72 50s. 73. Gone 1 up. That was the stats before the tournament, so he scored 150 in this tournament as well.
That was against Singapore, and that strike rate of nearly 220 is quite unbelievable. This is Dwidge into Henderson. So he's been outstanding already here, Dwidge. Just 9 runs scored so far. We're coming to the end of his second over. Can he close this one out as well? I'll be very surprised if Coley does not use him for the full 4 overs. Looks like it's just come off the hip here. Number 2, looking for 2.
Good awareness by Dwidge. He noticed his brother Meg had to retrieve the ball.
Dwidge and Meg both did completely the right thing there. Dwidge came down to where the keeper should be. The keeper kept hold of it. Really what they wanted was Akshat down the far end to come and to the bowler's end. So just something to think about for India there.
Yeah, the mid-off or the mid-on needed to get to the non-striker's end there.
As you can see, the famous clock there. It's just 9:10 here at Chester, but a nice picture of Marcus North with one of the co-branded Bass bats. And there's some great offers online for registered LMS players. And there's the website there, www.lastmanstands.com/Bass.
Lee, good score here. If you were in the Australian captain's boots here, what would you be telling your guys? You need to get in these first 9, and then where would you be looking to be at the end of the 18 overs.
I'm still sticking with 160 here. I think India have been a little bit off the pace in the field, but I think 160 is a very, very competitive total, and it's going to put a lot of pressure on the Indian batting. As another 4 on the back pitch for Singapore.
Well fielded by Marty Henderson, throwing the ball back to pitch 2. That's hit hard. That should be 4.
And it is. That's Tyrrell again. He looks in great form.
He's getting better and better. He's starting to get used to the pace of the wickets. He would have played most of his LMS cricket on non-turf pitches, so the ball will be coming onto the bat a bit. So he's taken his time to adjust in this tournament, but he's shown what a class act he is now.
Another firm shot out in the deep, and there's been a little bit of a slip in a misfield.
It's not going to be easy for the fielders out here. The outfield is very wet. But that shot there was a great example of how Tyrrell's getting used to the slightly slower wickets in England. Just got very deep in his crease there, Lee.
He did. And obviously Wasim Jaffer, extremely competitive, the marquee player for India. He went for the double teapot. So I don't know if some countries don't have teapots, but over in England it's a well-known phrase. And hands on both hips there. And the fielder's going to be tested again straight away. This time he's just a bit more cautious, gets down with 2 hands and bowls the ball in here. But they're just starting to set that platform again. If they can get up to around 80, 85, after 10, that's going to give them a great platform to go really hard for the last 8 overs of this innings. Henderson's just gone across there, looking to paddle, use the pace again. I can't believe they haven't run a single there. The ball's just came off the keeper and almost gone 20 yards away, but they decided it was a dot ball.
Was there an inside edge there? Must have been. Otherwise,
I think it came off his thigh pad, just and onto the keeper. Few names waiting in the hutch here for Australia. No one bigger probably than Sam Lang, the captain. I'm sure a few people will be waiting at home to watch him have a bat.
Sam Lang, very popular figure in LMS circles. He's played cricket in every state in Australia.
You were telling me that with work he just goes and plays in whichever state he's in.
I think he's played for about 20 LMS teams. I think he travels quite a bit with his work, and he's always looking for a game of LMS, whether he's in Brisbane, Gold Coast, his hometown Canberra, and he'll be in London next week. So any teams looking to recruit the Australian skipper, let us know. He's happy to attend a net session. So Lee, due to the fact that it's an 18 over game, they'll obviously swap off the 9 overs as opposed to the regulation 10. So there'll be 3 more balls from this end, from the skipper Kohli, and then we'll switch it. I think the 18 over game will probably slightly favour India.
They've done well here, India. They've just managed to pull it back. They were 33 off 3 overs. So.
And Tyrrell's struck the ball well, but at times he just needs to also learn to ensure he keeps rotating the strike. There's been a few too many dot balls to him.
This could be 2 here. This could be 2.
It's better from Tyrrell.
So who will come in next for you?
It has to be Sam Lang. 9 overs to go. Got all the experience. He's got to be there at the end. If he comes in next, Tyrrell's probably got another 6 or 7 balls until he gets to his 50. So Sam Lang should be coming in around the 11th over.
Here we go, Wayno, with this drinks break after 9 overs.
We've had a question from Jamie Dillon. Is the square leg umpire texting on his phone? I hope not. No, Jamie, they're in LMS. We've got a live scoring app, and the umpire scores the game. So that will explain what you saw there as we cross up to pitch 2, Manpreet Singh. Lee, what do you think of Manpreet Singh?
Don't get me started, Wayne. This early, my favourite player in LMS cricket. And I don't care what anyone says on Facebook Live. Don't care what country you're from. Manpreet Singh is my favourite player. He's been outstanding this week. Captain fantastic. And they're doing really well on the back pitch there. They're 65 for 1 off 9. But they've got the 2 main men at the crease there. They've got Manpreet Singh and Trichy Mani there.
And Marty Henderson, he's been watching Chanderpaul in this tournament. Look at that stance.
It's better running that. Marty Henderson's the kind of character that maybe say, Wayne, that Chanderpaul's been watching him, though.
Well, that's what he'll tell everyone. No, a real great character of Last Man Stands. Always backs himself. Positive character. Fun character. That ball must have moved the mile.
Just opened himself out up a fraction. I don't know if that little slip just shook him up a bit there. But his front foot went nowhere. And that's another wicket for India. And LMS Australia have got to be quite careful here. It's a really important part of the game, this now. This next few overs. They can't afford to lose 2 or 3 quick ones. They need to get Tyrrell retired.
It did go a bit.
Just didn't quite get forward there. Did shape just away, fraction just went down the slope here at Chester.
Would you say that's all it is? Does that do that quite often? Yeah, obviously you've played a lot of cricket, yeah?
Yeah, well, obviously down the bottom of the slope here, the pitch slopes from right to left down towards the canal. And there was a little wow from Henderson there. He obviously thought he's done a bit. But he goes 15 off 13.
Henderson himself will enjoy bowling on this wicket. It's got a little bit of nibble in it due to the wet weather, but still a good track.
Wasim, what's a good score?
So Lee, we just asked Wasim Jaffa what's a good score, and what was his reply?
Anything that we chase, he said.
So he's confident, in other words.
I think Wasim will be used to the conditions here. He's been in England playing for the last few seasons. Just on the game on the back pitch, Wayne, how do you think Pakistan will fare minus Razak?
I think psychologically they will feel that they're missing their main man. He got them off to superb starts in his first 2 knocks, first 2 games, but then the final 3 games of this tournament he hasn't really got going. So I don't think they'll miss him too much, but obviously his experience and his presence will be definitely missed.
So this is the Aussie captain Sam Lang here.
So Singapore on the back pitch, 73 from 9.4 overs, 2 down. So it's a similar score on both pitches, yeah. Lee, I'm going to be leaving you in the commentary box, and Rob Stevenson is going to be coming on.
Good morning, Rob.
Morning, Lee. How you doing on this lovely English morning?
It's ideal conditions for me, this.
Bit of swing around you'd expect. I mean, have we seen much of that yet?
Well, we've seen a little bit of movement, definitely off the wicket. It's tough to get the ball swinging when the ball's wet. So predominantly you'd be looking for any sort of seam movement if you can. Try and keep the ball as dry as possible. Mistimed. They need to get someone else to the stumps here, India. Got up 2.
Direct hit there, I think, would have got Nathan Tyrrell, Lee.
I actually think if Kohli gathers the ball, I think he's out as well. Can we just watch that back? There we go. It's a good bit of fielding from Praveen here. Yep. Oh, it would have been very close with the gather, but the direct hit was out.
So a bit of pressure on the twos here for Nathan Tyrrell. He was pushed hard by Marty Henderson, and he went for that one. They got a fantastic start here, Australia, off the first 3 or 4 overs, and has slowed up significantly since the wicket started falling. So a bit of pressure on these last 7 or 8 overs.
High into the air. Fielder's going to come round.
Over him and into the canal. Is that over the fence?
It appears it looks like a concrete grid, and the ball's hit it flush, and it's bounced over into the canal.
Well, that's just small margins there, Lee. I mean, that one, just about a yard in it. If we have a look here, for all money, it looked like it was going to go down his throat. I want to see
what it hits, because it just pings up. Fielder very aware of that small picket fence there.
Just clears in. Yep, hits that corner. Hits the bench. And then
hits the bench. Not seen that before.
What's that? That'll be in the canal down there, will it, Lee?
Yeah, it will. But the wind's actually going down towards that way, so I'm not sure Tyrrell got all of it, but he certainly got enough to sail it away for 6, and he needed that. Australia needed that.
That was a huge moment there, just small margins. Nathan Tyrrell goes caught for a 40. Australia don't have one in the bank. Now he moves on to, what's that, 46, 47 now.
So do you think now it's actually important for Tyrrell, even if it takes up another 2 balls, 3 balls to get in the hutch?
Absolutely. He's got to get in the hutch, especially with the nature of the other Australian batsmen to come in. You've got big Ziad Abbas, who's just going to go for it. It really frees up those guys just to come out and play their shots. Sammy Lang out to the deep. That'll just be a single to deep mid-wicket. But with the batsmen they've got to come, we've hardly seen any of Jake O'Connell batting this tournament. The young lad's got an average of 68, so you know, he can come out, he can have a swing. There's just no pressure on when you've got a guy on the shed. So if we look at the scorecard here, there's a solid start. Puri Srinivasan, quickfire 13 off 6 balls. He was looking good before he tried a sweep and was LBW. Nathan Tyrrell, very important innings here in difficult conditions. 47 not out. He's a linchpin, and now Samuel Lang at the crease as well.
Just trying to look across here at the Aussie bench, see who's got the pads on, see who's... and that is a big wicket here. That's massive.
Captain Sam Lang gone, bowled for 3 runs off 5 balls by Day. Huge wicket there. Australia losing their skipper.
This is quite unbelievable stuff from Australia, this. They've been in such a strong position. They've been very comfortable getting the ball out into the deep and getting 2s, but they keep on going for the big shot, and they keep on finding that another man is walking back to the pavilion.
Absolutely. Let's have another look at this. So, foolish ball, going and looking to smash that over the long, deep mid-wicket boundary. Ambitious there from Sammy.
I think the most disappointing thing for Sam Lang there is that the ball's done nothing. It's gone straight on. It's hit the leg stump. His head was in the air then. So for him, he believed it was in the slot. He's just mis-executed that shot.
So there we go, 2 big men at the crease here. Nathan Tyrrell just 3 away from his 50 and a potential retirement. And Ziad Abbas, one of the biggest hitters in the tournament. Australia will really need some big hits from Ziad here just to post a competitive total, which at the moment they're not on for, I'd say.
See, it's a tough one here because obviously both these batters are strong hitters of the ball here. There's just so many twos out there, though.
Sorry, it's correction there. This is Hayden Page at the crease. So they've decided that Hayden, he's also a big hitter, but he's got a very mature cricketing brain. So I don't think we'll see him going for a big swing early on.
Do you think they're looking just to maybe get a batter in while Tyrrell retires and then send a bass in?
Absolutely, I think that's the case. They're looking at another 3 runs for Nathan Tyrrell, get him retired. And then they've got Hayden Page to play that more sensible innings maybe, while young Jake O'Connell and Ziad Abbas will just come in and have a swing, I reckon. Nathan Tyrrell out to the deep square leg there, moves on to 48, so 2 away from his retirement.
I think Nathan Tyrrell's done a really good job here. I think the people around him have soaked up quite a lot of balls, and he's going to look to retire on about 33, 34 balls here, which will be very solid innings in this quarter-final. Oh my God, there's another one.
Day appealing. The umpire's not moved by that. A huge appeal from Anurag Day. He seems absolutely convinced there. Hayden Page unmoved. Bit of a look at the batsman. Australians don't walk apart from Adam Gilchrist, so no surprise there to see that.
What was your first thoughts here, Rob, before you watched this back? What did you think?
Just the immediate reaction from the keeper, I thought seemed quite convincing. Look at the outswing there, beautiful movement. Just very close to the edge. If that wasn't the edge, it was just that immediate reaction, the celebration already. But I mean, we haven't seen enough of these guys to know how quickly they go up. But I think Hayden Page could have been lucky there.
If we could watch that from the reverse angle, if possible, that would be fantastic. I may be asking for a little bit too much there, but I think it'd be interesting to see that from behind, definitely.
It's a brilliant little spell building here from Anurag Day. So he's bowled 2 overs, 2 wickets for 7 runs. Side on, difficult to tell from there. Just so convincing from the keeper. It wasn't even just looked like he couldn't imagine that it wasn't going to be out. So
all I'd say is Page wasn't moved, was he? He didn't even flinch, so he didn't give anything away. So if he did hit it, it was an excellent poker face.
So there we go. So Wasim Jaffer on to bowl the former Indian Test start.
Oh, I do love that. We've watched that back twice. We weren't sure, but the bowler Anurag's in front of us, and he's saying that was a big edge.
There you go. Bowlers always think it's a big edge, but did look very, very close if it wasn't out. So Wasim Jaffer bowling here. Actually, a Test bowling average of 9 with the ball. That's relatively impressive. Met the only 2 wickets.
That's got to be run out there. That's got to be run out.
It's a crucial moment in the game there. Yeah. Back to the bowler. That is a devastating blow there for Australia and for Nathan Tyrrell. All they needed was for him to get back into the shed. 48 not out.
So there's just a little pause there. Now, come the semi-final, he may have gone to the third umpire there, because that's exactly what's going to happen.
Absolutely. Could be crucial for there to be no reviews here. Let's have a look. Oh, that looked like it was out there. It'll be interesting from this side on.
So watch this again. So we would have watched it from this angle.
Yep, clearly out. Good stuff from Wasim Jaffer there, and that's a devastating blow for Australia. With him on the non-strikers end, 48 not out. They just would have been looking to get him back on strike, get a 2 in, back in the shed. But
so just an example for you there, Rob. Say the umpire had made the third umpire signal, which is the box, and give a soft signal of not out. The camera will come over to us. The third umpire would get to watch the screen without our input at all, and then the camera would go across over to our third umpire, and he would then give the decision across to the field.
Absolutely, we look forward to that happening in the semi-final and the final. But good umpiring there. He's in a decent position. Devastating both for Australia and India, really getting on top here, 89 for 5. Hayden Page just to the offside. Come through there, that was almost tight as well if that had been a better throw from the keeper. So young Jake O'Connell, the 17-year-old, he hasn't had much of a bat yet this tournament, so this is opportunity to impress with the bat, just as he has done with the ball.
Very tricky batting gloves these.
A reminder that it's an 18 overs a side game due to the rain, not 20 overs a side. Quick running there from Jake O'Connell, and with the misfield he'll pick up a second.
See, this is something I thought they could have maybe done a lot earlier. They've come in, they've obviously wanted to get as big a score as possible, and they've just gone for too many big shots from me.
So, both these batsmen by no means tail enders. Maybe in at Jake O'Connell in at number 7 for Australia, but the averages throughout this Australian team are all well in excess of 50. If we have a look at Hayden Page here, an average of 69 after 147 innings, 55-50. So that's some serious pedigree from the Canberra player.
O'Connell again is going to look for 2.
Very quick runner.
So just talk me through this batting order, because obviously we've not seen Ziad Abbas yet. I'm presuming he's in the team. I think
that would have changed with he is in the team. I think that would have changed depending on Nathan Till's retirement.
I'll look for 2 again. Out to Twidge, they're going to go. No, he's sent back by Page.
He's really looking for those 2s there, Jake O'Connell. We could see a run out coming on here, but I think if Nathan Till had retired, then they would have sent in Big Ziad and asked him to go large, and if it didn't come off, then at least they've got Nathan to come back in. But now they just a few more overs left. They just need to ensure that they get through to the close without being bowled out.
This is an amazing spell here by Anurag Day here. He's 2.5 overs in, 2 for 9. He's changing this match here. The one thing Australia will be buoyed by is that there's definitely a lot of value for the seamers.
Absolutely. I think that's going to go down to long off. Jake O'Connell running fast, but he's not going to get the 2 there. Good pick up and throw back in.
Intensity's 2 ways though, Rob. There's no good him trying to push for the second run.
Absolutely. He's not looking too keen on the second runs, Hayden Page, at the moment, so bit of pressure on the Aussies here.
Now this should be 2. This should be a comfortable 2.
Lovely shot there from Jake O'Connell. Throw to the keeper, so 2 there. Hayden Page. Hayden Page is now on 7 off 10 balls. Slight discrepancy on scorecard. And then Jake O'Connell, 5 his first 3 deliveries. He's shown good intensity since he's come out there, the young man.
Looking at these bowling figures, it's Anurag Day there.
Extraordinary figures.
2 for 12, he's been absolutely fabulous. Dwidge has still got 2 overs left here, so surely they'll be going to him.
2 for 12 and could well have been 3 for 12 if we're to believe him that was a big edge. Wouldn't quite say a big edge. But
yeah, I was going to say, look at that there. Praveen as well, 2 overs, only gone for 7. So they've got quite a lot of seam options here. I think Day will definitely bowl one of these remaining 5 overs. Praveen's got a couple to work with, and Dwidge as well. So India in a really good spot here. They've managed to juggle the bowlers round, get through the part-time bowlers, and they've got the main guys to bowl the final overs.
You go, Praveen out to the deep mid-wicket. They'll just get the single there.
To Dwidge.
A big factor here as well, Lee, is the fact that whatever Australia post, they've got to contend with Wasim Jaffa coming in for the Indians.
Yeah, it is massive. The one thing I'd say though is that the Indian batting lineup certainly doesn't have the depth of the Australian one.
They're going hard there. Hayden Page looking at it, but they'll just keep to the single. So just under 4 overs remaining in this 18 over a side game, reduced due to the late start after overnight rain. At the moment we have Hayden Page on 8 off 11, Jake O'Connell 6 off 4, with just Ziad Abbas to come in for the Australians.
Oh, wow!
Hayden Page goes big, right over long on. That's a massive hit past your club captain's house there, down the road. That's brilliant stuff,
I
Lee.
actually think that's one of the biggest sixes of the week, that he was not going to die wondering there. That has gone 30, 40 rows back into the invisible stand there.
Wasn't too bad a ball either from Praveen. Maybe just a little bit full. Outside off stump. Hayden Page really showing his intent there. Just a massive hit past the captain's house. Onto the road. Let's have another look at this. Step forward well. Clean hit right out the middle. Straight onto the road, I think, out there. It's gone big there. He hasn't got a hold. Wazim Jaffer's underneath it here. And Comchiana just goes past him.
For
just
six
past
more.
us. Hayden Page getting going here. 2 sixes in a row for Australia.
That's exactly what was needed here. Exactly what was needed from Page. I think he knew he was chewing a few dot balls up here, and he's just managed to sort his strike rate out here in the space of 2 balls.
It just shows his experience and cool head in it, and it shows why Australia sent him in when they did. Just got his eye in and now unleashing. There we go. Has gone out to the offside there. They're definitely going to get 2 here, you would have thought. Page comes back and you have a comfortable 2 there. Good running from young Jake O'Connell.
I've seen it rolling around up there.
It's the big over that Australia desperately needed to get back into this game.
So if you're O'Connell now, surely you're just looking for the single at the start of this over and get the red Page back on strike.
So just looking at that second 6. Cleared the boundary by a couple of yards there, so almost relatively comfortable, you'd say. So now we've got 3 overs remaining in this 18 over a side match. Australia on 113 for 5. Hayden Page going well, 22 off 14. The other match on the backfield, 15 overs gone. Singapore now 113 for 3. So Sri to run money, 44 not out of 31 on the backfield, but coming back to this pitch, that's another big wicket. Jake O'Connell bowled for 6 off 5 deliveries, which brings in Ziad Abbas. Another clean bowled there. Another wicket the Aussies will be disappointed at. Looking at the pitch, what do you think there? Just swing across the line or a decent delivery?
I think this is a good angle to look at, to be honest, because he's bowling up the slope here. Oh, wow.
Lovely turn.
Big turn. A great celebration from Dwidge there.
There we go. So Dwidge back into the attack, takes his second wicket, 2 for 10 off 2.1 overs now. So another fantastic spell building for him. Ziad Abbas and Hayden Page in now. So this is where we'd last 2.5 overs. We could be in a bit of danger here in the commentary box, Lee.
We could be. Just for the people at home, the only issue with Nathan Tyrrell getting out when he did, he'd be coming back in now. So if we lose one more wicket, we're into last man. Oh, that's close. That's going to be close.
The umpire says no. Dwidge was convinced there. Turn back in.
Right. Well, we've seen the ball before spin an awful lot, Rob. I think this one may be just doing a fraction too much, but if there was a review, I think he'd be using it right now.
He's quite a tall man. That looked at him fairly high. So Ziad Abbas gets off the mark and he'll come back for a comfortable 2 there. No one in that third man region. The fielder fielding down at a backward point, deep backward point.
I'm going to hopefully see a replay of that LBW shout on Abbas first ball there.
Difficult years with how quick these spinners are getting through deliveries. Hopefully at the end of the over, maybe.
High into the deep.
Goes big. Just showing his class there early. Ziad Abbas, 6 over long on.
Just looking at his bat there, I don't think he got any of that. I think that's maybe half a hit there from Abbas. What power.
Yeah, half a hit. He's using a new bat. He broke his bat in the nets yesterday, so he was disappointed about that. So first time he's batted with this one, I believe.
There's one of the injured India players, KB. Good friend of mine there.
Let's have a look. Is this the... hopefully this is the LBW rather than the 6. Let's just have a look. Well, doing too much, I'd say there. You saw where the ball pitched and then where it in. What do you think, Lee?
Well, obviously he sat here, Rob, in his bright yellow Australia jacket. Very quick to dismiss that. That looks close though.
Really
He's
ripping
gone.
at the mile, and he's given in that time. So Ziad Abbas may have survived an earlier appeal, manages to get the 6, and he's not happy with it. He's looking at his bat. Disappointment there from Abbas. Doesn't really show too much dissent normally, so you would have thought that was an edge there.
Watch this back here.
Difficult to tell from that angle.
Is he giving that LBW?
I think he's giving it LBW. Don't think the key. It's very difficult to tell for us from there. So if we did have the review system going, that'd be a hard call for.
There we go. This is the best angle now. Doing a great job, the TV crew here, giving us as many angles as we can.
Did just turn again.
Ooh. Right, Rob. I can see why Abbas isn't overly happy with that. It seems extremely high, and I think that's going down leg.
I'd say so. Even if he did get an edge on it, it looked like he thought he got an edge on it, but it was doing a lot. Hit him high. He's a big man. I'd agree with you there that was an unlucky call there from Ziad, which leaves Hayden Page as the last man standing for LMS Australia. There he goes, big there.
I reckon that's for that.
Beautiful placement there from Hayden Page. Picks the gap between deep square leg and deep mid wicket beautifully. 4 runs. So Page is the last man standing. Can only hit boundaries, 6s or run 2s. So he can't run a single. All the fielders will be throwing it to the keeper's end to try and run him out.
How much experience do you reckon Page has as being the last man stands?
I think he'd have a lot of experience. All these big players are used to playing in lineups where they've retired on 50 and they come back in again. Just picks the gap behind deep square. Will that run away? He's coming for 2 either way. Just be 2 runs there, but good placement from Hayden Page.
So you're Hayden Page, what are you looking for here? Are you looking just to bat the overs and see where you get to, but try and work low risk, or is he going to throw caution to the wind here?
I think he'll ensure that he bats through this over at least. There's 1 more to come after. He's looking around the field a lot, trying to see where the gaps are for him to be able to get to. Put down, and that's out to deep cover, so he won't go for that run. So that's it. That's where these dot balls clock up for last man standing, because it's too risky to go for the 2 there. He's got to keep a bit of energy, showing that he can hit the 6s down the ground. So
I always feel like that affects the person's strike rate quite a lot.
So Wasim Jaffa, the former Test cricketer for India, bowling out there. So just 1 over to come now.
So
Jaffa ends his spell 4 overs, none for 27.
Just a little reminder there that obviously the last ball of this over, if they get there, Australia, there's an opportunity for Page to hit a 12. So I think he'll want to definitely be around for that, because that could be a big momentum shift.
Absolutely, but he's signalled his intent already. If we look over at the Singapore game, Singapore 143 for 3 after 17.1 overs. They've had a retirement of Mani.
Well, this is Curti on strike here.
Big swing from him. Small pitch, the backfield, 143 with 17 overs gone. Hayden Page, that's in the deep. That looks like it's going to reach the gap there. Fielder can't come round, so another boundary there to open the final over for Australia. Hayden Page playing a crucial dig here, 32 off 20 balls. Dwidge bowling the last over. Current figures 3.13 for 22, so he's done well. No last over for Anurag Day, who finishes with fantastic figures of 3 overs, 2 for 12.
Really surprised he hasn't bowled his 3rd over. Really surprised. I think he's been the pick of the bowlers as well, and he's bowling Dwidge, who's been fantastic all tournament, but he's going to, by the looks of it, be spinning this into Page's arc here.
Absolutely. So 4 deliveries left in this innings for Australia. They started very quickly, were looking really good, and then slowed up as the wicket started falling. Careful there from Hayden Page. He's going for the 2, which is very risky here, but with the slippery outfield. Clever batting there from Page. I think he he had seen the way that these guys were fielding out here. It's pretty wet out here in the deep, so they're always going to struggle to run in quickly and pick up and throw quickly. So another 2 for Hayden Page.
That looks like a 6 on the back pitch there. There it is. As we're just waiting for him to put his shoe back on the front.
So that's Vineet Puli-Kottel. 23 off 12 now. Sorry, the 6 was hit by Harkarat Singh, 11 off 5. So they move on to 149 with 2 deliveries remaining on the back pitch. And on our field here, we've got 3 deliveries. A cramp on the back pitch for the Singapore batsman. So Hayden Page, could he be a hero here for the Australians? 34 off 21, 3 deliveries to come. Goes down, he goes big.
I always think bowling an off spinner in the final over of any T20 game is like a really bad roller coaster. There's parts of it you enjoy, but most of the time you got your eyes closed.
Very true.
And that's
Page goes big, he's got hold of
gone deep, he's held the pose, and that's 6.
Massive 6 there from Hayden Page. Beautiful stuff there. Almost exactly the same as the previous maximum that he had hit down there.
That's amazing hitting.
Just waiting for that ball that was in his arc. Big step forward, bang, right out the middle.
I just genuinely am shocked that they've gone to this tactic, India, in the last over. Dwidge.
There you go, your club captain looking nervously at the...
He's checking, he's moved his car, he's like, move it further down the road. Put it on another road.
Did see him moving another car earlier. How many cars has he got out the front?
Move that one as well.
All his chauffeurs moving each of his cars.
I genuinely can't believe that they haven't gone back today here.
It's the last ball here. Good bowling there.
Stop ball.
That's an excellent innings there, Lee, from Hayden Page. 40 off 24, including 3 maximums. Helps gets Australia to 139. What are your thoughts there? Is that enough?
I think it's far more competitive than what you'd think. I don't think Australia will think they're completely out of it. I think it's so dependent on Wasim Jaffer. I think if he gets his 50, I think India will cruise out.
The other thing as well, it's just so much pressure on the team when they've got the international players playing for them. If they'll be relying on him to get in the sheds for 50. If they lose him early, then it'll certainly send shockwaves through the team. Very, very important for Australia to try and get Jaffer early in this run chase. As he said to you earlier, Lee, he's confident of chasing any total.
Interesting to see Sam Lang out there speaking to the umpires, so we'll find out what that's about in a moment. But Team India, after literally, they thought they were out the other day. I think we all did.
Huge comeback from the Indians at the start of the tournament. Looked like they were bombing out. Then just get a bit of momentum, bit of form. Team camaraderie kicks in. Guys all pick up a bit more confidence, and that was a brilliant bowling display from the Indians. Anurag Day in particular. Fantastic spell, 3 overs, 2 for 12. Well backed up by Dwidge. He took a bit of tap in the last over from Hayden Page, ended up with 3 for 30 off 4 overs.
And what did he end up on the back pitch? What did Singapore finish up on?
So on the back pitch, which is a smaller field that you'd hope for bigger scores, they actually finished pretty well there with, well, exceptionally well. It looks like they finished with a 6 and a 6, so home run to finish.
So 18 off 2, I think that's a massive swing there. I actually make Singapore favourites there now. That's against massive. Pakistan. No Razak, wet field. They've finished with a massive change in momentum. I think the Pakistan boys are under a bit of pressure there.
That's an extraordinary change in momentum on the backfield. So if we look the last 4, 5, 6, so the last 7 deliveries, 4 maximums hit in the last 7 deliveries, including a home run. Vineet Puli-Kottel ending up on 35 off 14 deliveries. So he hit those 4 sixes. It's brilliant stuff there.
Thing is as well to remember is some of these are relatively old wickets. There's been a lot of cricket this week. So at the moment, obviously, it's a little bit greasy on top, but the wind's drying them out all the time. And 156, if they'd have had 2 more overs, they'd have probably got up to near 180. So that is a very, very competitive total in 18 overs. Australia, on the other hand, have a few less to defend here. I think they're going to be confident they can do it, but they're going to have to play really well.
Absolutely, and they'll be regretting the unfortunate dismissal of Nathan Tyrrell, run out at the non-striker's end. That 48 could have cost him in the end there if he had been back in. It would have been someone else for Hayden Page to run with, but having said that, Hayden Page came through and hit a few boundaries and sixes. So,
and then the dismissal of Abbas, you know, I think he'll be rightly aggrieved. I thought the ball was going quite a long way down the leg side, to be honest.
Did look like an unfortunate call there from Ziad, but you know, you look at that context, there was still a decent last couple of overs from the Australians. So
3 more wickets for Dwidge there. That's 14 in the tournament there. That must take him near the top of the wicket chart, surely.
Absolutely, I would have thought so. And he shows how he gets those wickets with prodigious turn. Guys just mistiming it, trying to go big, getting the edges.
So who will Australia be turning to here to win this game with the ball?
Well, for me, it's Jake O'Connell, the young 17-year-old. He can swing it. These conditions are almost made for him. He'll come in and crucial to get Jaffa early. He's got an economy. Every game in this tournament, his economy rate has been below 6.75, which is brilliant stuff in last man stands. Marty Henderson bowled a very tight spell yesterday opening up, and he's such a competitive player that you can't imagine him not rising to the occasion in this game. Puri Srinivasan, good pace bowler, he's bowled well. What do you think about the spin option though today, Lee? Nathan Tyrrell was fantastic yesterday in the Australia win.
I think he's got to come into the attack pretty early, to be honest. I think he's got to come in really early. It's a really tough one. He's a quality operator. I'm just looking down at some of the bowling figures this week from Australia. There's not been anyone who's took the, you know, almost the captain's armband on the bowling side of things, who's gone and, you know, Dwidge has got 14 wickets. You know, you look around, it's been spread around a little bit. You know, who is the go-to bowler there? Who is the guy today that is going to come away with 3 wickets with 20 runs in 4 overs?
For me, it has to be Jake O'Connell. One confidence builder for the Australians is because they have shared it around. They've got confidence in whoever they bring on. Even Hayden Page has done a tidy job whenever he's come in. And there's no pressure on them. There's going to be no weak overs in there. They've got 6 bowlers to spread the 18 overs between.
Who do you go to first over?
First over has to be Jake O'Connell. Second over will be Marty Henderson. I'd imagine if those two open up well, first couple of overs, I wouldn't be surprised if both of them bowled through. It's just crucial to get Jaffa early.
Are they going to go for the kill here? Is that the plan? Do you think they're going to have to go all in?
I think so. I think they'll feel that they've underscored there by about 15 runs given their start. Got going really well. And as soon as they started losing wickets, the run rate just slowed.
So as we look at today's plan, 2 quarterfinals, and then the winners go through and play the top 2 teams in the 2 groups. They're already in the semi-final, and then the winners go through to the final, and the winner of that will be the champion of the World Series as the game starts on the back pitch. So hopefully we'll maybe get a couple of overs of that in before we start on the second innings of this match.
So Sri Lanka in there just looking really strong. Ajantha Mendes has made a lot of friends on and off the field this week, following on from his great performances and, well, batsman of the tournament at the World Champs in Cape Town in South Africa. For me, they're the favourites. England, very competitive side, looking really strong. They've got the pace bowling of Adil Hussain, which is a real weapon. That would be the 2 favourites for me, Lee.
So on the back pitch, it's Manbir Singh who's going to be opening the bowling for Singapore. He's going to be bowling at Mo Bhatti. And it's Altaf at the other end.
Crucial first few overs here from Pakistan, as Lee mentioned earlier. A real momentum shifter in that game with those successive sixes to finish the innings.
Starts with a wide. I want to see this Australian team bouncing out the blocks here, Rob. I see a real enthusiasm from them here.
I wouldn't say they look too buoyed coming out there, Lee. I mean, they've all got
flat, don't they?
They look flat. Their heads are down a bit. They're walking out a bit separately. You know, you'd prefer to see them all coming out together. I'm not sure. Marty trying to rally the lads. I think they will see opportunities missed there. You know, Ziad obviously upset about that LBW. So, interesting choice from the Indians in terms of their 2 opening batsmen. So, Rahul Kohli Virat Kohli's cousin, coming into open, the captain of the side, along with Anurag Dey. Had that terrific bowling spell, 3 overs, 2 for 12. Very surprised, Lee, to not see Wasim Jaffer opening up.
I am, and you know, unless they think that Australia's best chance is with the new ball, so they may think, well, I'll tell you what, we're going to go at it pretty hard at the top here. Maybe use one of these guys as a bit of a pinch hitter, and then let Wasim Jaffer settle into the middle overs and maybe coast them over the line.
Absolutely, that must be what they're going for.
The
Put the pressure on.
The other interesting thing is Australia have come down to this City Road end of the ground to start with, which is slightly shorter. We saw that towards the end, even though, to be honest, they were sixes on any part of any cricket ground from Page.
Some great batting there from Hayden Page when Australia needed him most. Coming out and batting as last man standing as well to end up with 40 off 24 balls, including some massive sixes, 3 massive sixes down, well, 2 massive ones and 1 straight down the ground. First ball from Jake O'Connell, well outside off stump, good lines from him.
It's going to have to be a good start from Jake O'Connell here.
We're being asked the question, how many home runs have been hit in the tournament so far? Well, there's been a lot of games and not that much of a stats man to be able to answer that. Hopefully we've got Dane Rikoski watching in Queensland who can do a quick look back.
Abdul Razak, we've had Nick Dolby-Walsh, we've had that one on the back pitch there for Singapore.
There must have been a few others on that back pitch.
I'd like to think that when Nige Collins got his 90 off 29 balls that there may have been a home run in there somewhere.
Assume so. So Jake O'Connell starting well here. We have seen him slip down the leg side a couple of times this tournament when he goes for the stumps, but solid start here, and for my money he's the go-to bowler. This is a huge first couple of overs from him and Marty Henderson.
And it looks like the first wicket on the back pitch there.
Is indeed so. On the back pitch, Pakistan have lost their first wicket. Humayun Altaf, golden duck from Manbir Singh's bowling.
So he's came in for Abdul Razak there, so straight away pressure put on Batty there, who's been excellent. But Manbir Singh, you'd take 9 off the first over if you had a wicket, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. Bowled a couple of wides in that over, so be disappointed with that. He's tight run chase, you don't want to give the opposition anything.
That's a nice shot there. O'Connell into the wicket.
Beautiful shot, pick the gap.
Kohli with a beautiful shot through, back with a point there, just waited for it. Just maybe telegraphed his length a little bit there.
Absolutely. Saw there's a deep point in the third man surrounding the 45. I think with this wet outfield today, it's difficult for these fielders on the boundary to get round quickly. Saw that in the Indian innings, a couple of potential chances that weren't chances just because no one wants to tear a hamstring by slipping over in the wet. Marty Henderson here bowling a second over for Australia, and a good first delivery from him.
It's an awful lot of cricket for some of these lads, Rob. You know, coming to the back end of the week. It's obviously going to affect fitness and whatnot.
Cameron Tice says no team seems to want to be bowled out. Assume that means that there's a lack of match fixing going on, which is always a good thing. Be quite unusual in cricket to want to be bowled out, so I'm interested to see where that comment came from, Cameron. So 6 runs after 1.2 overs. Marty Henderson, sorry, 1.3 overs, 7 runs. Started very well here, Marty.
Be interesting to see how deep India want to take this game. And what I mean by that is, do they want it done
Goes big there, and that clears Ziad Abbas.
Back on for 6.
That was a 4 there, wasn't it? For me, that looked like Ziad could have been in slightly the wrong position there. That's gone for forward. Marty Henderson saying push back. You don't want to be 2 or 3 yards in off the boundary and then a 4 clear you. Pretty sure that was a 4. Let's have a look. See, deep mid-wicket would have been right down his throat.
Oh. Could do with maybe rolling that back.
So an interesting one there. So next one out to the offside. Just a single there for India. Kohli starting well here.
I'd really like to see that again. I think that was really close to being 6, that.
Close to being 6 and close to being what potentially should have been a wicket as well for Australia. He's now right back on the fence there.
See, that's the danger. You see, you know, you gamble, don't you? You take 5 yards off the boundary to try and stop the 2. And then all of a sudden...
That's it. That could have been a massive wicket there. So Marty Henderson's record, fantastic record in last man stands. 390 wickets, an average of 21. Economy rate just over 6. So much experience there, and that's what Australia need. Young Jake O'Connell, maybe 17, but he's got enough experience. He's got over 100 LMS wickets himself.
I think he's working through the pain barrier as well here, Rob. Is just holding his back a fraction there. He keeps running in though for his country here.
Absolutely, he's not gonna pull out of this. That's for sure. This obviously the highlight of his cricketing career so far, and it's a budding one. That's for sure. He could potentially go a long way. Young Jake O'Connell, terrific with the bat as well as with the ball.
Does he get to play much 11-a-side cricket, or is it just predominantly last man standing?
He does. He plays a lot of 11-a-side cricket. Made his first grade debut at the age of 15 on the south coast of New South Wales in Wollongong. So a lot of high hopes for him, associated with New South Wales development squad for the under-17s or under-19s, I think. His father Darren will be able to chip in with a bit of information for me there. So he's a promising young lad, but
so
really mature head.
Is his father a keen cricketer as well?
His father is a keen cricketer, plays in the South Coast Leagues in New South Wales with the national champions Rock Lobsters. So that's Nathan Tyrrell and Jake O'Connell, both play for Rock Lobsters, 2 of the Australian representatives today.
India at the moment just kind of hanging back in the crease here, knowing that O'Connell's bowling quite a heavy length. He's coming round the wicket here, so they're just trying to free up a little bit of room and work it down towards third man. Does he come over the wicket much?
We've hardly seen him. I don't think we've seen him come over the wicket at all this tournament. I may be wrong, but certainly most of his overs that I've watched, he's just been around the wicket, trying to keep those lines outside off something. Having said that, he slipped down the leg side there, so that'll be disappointing for the Australians. Wide delivery.
So who's this keeping wicket today?
So Sammy Lang, the captain, is keeping wicket today. So we saw Brodie Dwyer keeping for the start of the tournament. Sam's come in, taken over the gloves and done a terrific job. We've seen some really quick stumpings from him yesterday.
So he shot down the ground.
Just a single there to Marty Henderson. There's one player who I could never imagine being a misfield, and that's Marty Henderson. Such a competitive cricketer in all aspects of the game. Jake O'Connell now to bowl the last ball of his second over. Goes short, it goes through to Sam Lang there. Well, choked appeal. Just a bit ambitious there from the Aussies. It's the end of the second over, so end of the third over, 17 runs off it. Let's just have another look at this. Just went through Kohli. What did it hit? Was that into the ground first, or what was there? Did that just not hit anything?
I think it's one of them where it came through close to him. You'd like to think it's made a touch. The keeper's just seen the ball die on him. And judging from the bowler's reaction down here, I think that's just a dot ball.
Sam Lang up to the stumps here to keep the pressure on the batsman. Make sure he stays in his crease. Marty Henderson to bowl his second over. It's a little leg by there.
The leg, yeah, the leg there. There we go.
So current requirement is 123 more runs needed, just under 15 overs. Could be in for a tight game here, Lee, but I really think Wasim Jaffer is key, his experience, his quality. So Darren, Jake's father, has confirmed that it's the under-19 New South Wales development squad for Jake O'Connell, but that's a big boundary there again from Coley.
Just rock back and smash that through the cover region.
So Coley leading by example here, the captain. He's decided to open, put Wasim Jaffer, we would assume, at 3, and he's taking on the mantle, that's for sure. 16 off 10 balls so far for the Indian captain, Virat Kohli's cousin, Rahul Kohli.
Slot, high in the air!
On the ground, that's a big 6 there.
And that's gone well back, giving himself some room. Hands on the head from Henderson there. He chased the stumps and that's gone well back. And that's 6 to India.
That's a fantastic hit here. Just have a look. Does he stay in his crease? No, just rocks back.
Incredible hands from Kohli there.
Quick hands, and that cleared the ropes by a good 5 or 6 metres at least there.
And this one's hit hard down the ground as well.
Just to Puri Srinivasan at long off. This is already turning into a very good over here from the Indians. Marty Henderson will be hurting with that 4, then a 6, and then the single. So Rahul Kohli moving on to 23 off 12 balls. He's really doing a terrific job, the captain.
Into the deep end. Catch.
Ziad
That's
Abbas
a great
in the
catch
deep.
from Ziad Abbas.
Slips over at the same time. That's a crucial wicket there for Australia. They needed that. Admittedly, it wasn't Kohli who was a set batsman, but they needed something to get them going. Anurag Day trying to get going. He was on 4 off 8 deliveries before then, so a bit of pressure on him to get going and went big out to deep mid wicket.
The experiment of not opening with Wasim Jaffer didn't really work. Kohli's been striking it beautifully, but Day, who was brilliant with the ball, has really struggled with the bat. And
chasing that well outside off stump, just swinging across the line. Ziad Abbas in the deep, did well. Very wet out there. That's one of the wettest parts of the field.
Looks like a really good start from LMS Pakistan on the back pitch there. After that early wicket. Mohammed Ahmed and Mo Bhatti steadying the ship.
So here we go. This is a crucial period now with Wasim Jaffer, the former Indian Test star, coming to the crease. Jaffer played 31 Test matches, so huge amount of experience, almost 2,000 Test runs.
So O'Connell will know here that another wicket will be absolutely massive for this Australian side. They certainly needed that breakthrough.
First 4 overs, 29 for 1 India, needing another 111 runs to win off 14 overs.
He's done that really well so far, Rahul Kohli. So this is going to be a whole new challenge for Jake O'Connell here now. Now I think if Australia can get Wasim Jaffer out early here, it's going to be a massive blow to this Indian side.
Absolutely. Well, it's a real big test for the young man. 17 years old, Jake O'Connell, player of the tournament, age 16 at the Australian Nationals last year. Bowling up against an Indian Test star. Can he deal with the pressure? Down the leg side, he'll be disappointed with that, so gives Jaffer a bit of a start.
He's got to be trying to straighten the ball down the hill here, O'Connell, because if he starts working into Jaffer's arc here, and there could be some fireworks, but I'm sure he's just going to readjust here. That's a lovely shot, just rolled down to third man.
Huge gap there, races away to third man. We've got Nathan Tyrrell down there on the 45 on the boundary, so there's a big gap there. There's no one at fine leg, so he'll be well aware of that, Wasim Jaffer. And Lee, for me, Jaffer's probably been the most impressive batsman in this whole tournament. Would you agree?
I think Nick Compton may have something to say about that. I think he's looked very classical in his approach, but some of the shots Jaffer's played throughout the week, I'd probably have to agree with you. He just leans on the ball, caresses it. The sound off the bat slightly different as well from some of these marquee players. You know, it's like a gun going off as O'Connell comes in. What a ball that is. What stuff. That is a great bit of bowling.
The smile and the nod from Wasim Jaffer, acknowledging the Great delivery from the young Australian there, and we just had another look at that Ziad Abbas catch a moment ago, Lee. It was actually did very well to hold on to that. Really lost his footing just before the catch and slipped over.
He's done well to clear his mind. I'm sure he was pointed from the way he was given out, and it was a brilliant catch from Ziad.
We go Ziad in quickly. Just a single there, so Wasim Jaffa moving on to 6 off 4 deliveries. India 36 after 4.4.
I'm really not sure who the wet conditions fare better for here, the Indians or the Australians. I know when playing in Australia, they're not overly keen on playing when it's wet.
Absolutely.
I don't think they get a lot of rain in India, and that's a brilliant shot from Kohli.
Brilliant stuff there. Again, he's just showing he's got all the shots. He's hitting them all around the ground. He's hit that boundary down behind backward point, that one through the covers. He's obviously hit the 6 down the ground. He's got all the shots here, Cody.
He's just hitting it so crisp.
Just given the pressure of this run chase as well and being captain, this is a fantastic knock from him so far. 28 off 14 balls. I think the pressure's really on the Australians, and I feel actually, Lee, that the conditions are suiting India here because it's difficult for these fielders out in the deep. The Aussies know that they've got to be quick in the deep to plug these boundaries, which are coming thick and fast for the Indians.
So many Indian supporters on Facebook Live here. Is there any Australians out there watching this game that think that their boys can get over the line here?
So Puri Srinivasan, the new bowler for Australia.
It's a nice shot, just rocked back.
Out to deep point for the single to Hayden Page. A big spell here from Puri, much needed for Australia. Just beginning on it.
So if you're just tuning in, we're here in Chester, England for the quarter-final between Australia and India. And Rahul Kohli's just worked that away into the deep. There's a misfield out there.
Disappointing there for the Australians. Nathan Tyrrell trying to get round. Bit difficult with the wet in the outfield, but the Australians will be disappointed there. 2 turns into 4. So Puri coming into bowl again. Really need a wicket here to get back the momentum. The Australians, good delivery there, and again, fantastic work here at Chester Boughton Hall by the groundsman and all of the club. Just have hosted this so magnificently. This tournament is true pleasure for all the guys to play here, Lee. It's been brilliant stuff this week.
Appreciate that, Rob. It's been a pleasure for us also. It's been great to see so many different players and this concept, which so many of our members and people in the local area have enjoyed.
That's an interesting shot there from Kohli. Just to interject briefly, he looked like he was going a bit across the line, which there's no need for with all the
so hard down
boundaries.
to O'Connell.
Straight through O'Connell. He'll be disappointed with that. It seems like all of your guys have enjoyed it, and as you say, it's been great to see a lot of the local community around here coming down and watching games, and it's a very social club, it seems.
Yeah, there's massive membership here at Chester, and obviously when you've got something as exciting as this tournament on at the moment, our members have embraced it. It's been fantastic, thoroughly enjoyable for everyone, and I know a number of our boys have managed to mix in with some of the international players here. But no, it's been fantastic. So looking here, we've got Rahul Kohli 36 off 18 and Wasim Jaffa 7 off 5, and just that one wicket of Anurag Day.
It's a big moment here. Nathan Tyrrell coming into the attack for the Australians. He'll be disappointed with that misfield on the boundary in the last over, but his bowling's been terrific so far this tournament. Australia's only spin option, so this is an important spell to see which way this goes.
And we've got a second wicket on that back pitch as well. Those boys from Singapore could do it again. 36 for 2. And the fastest mouth in the east, Bakari's come in with Mo Bhatti on the back pitch there.
Absolutely terrific performances from Singapore throughout this tournament, led by Manpreet Singh, who I'd agree with you has been really one of the standout players of this tournament.
Chris Baptista thinks if they can get Jaffa out for under 20, that Australia are in the box seat. And Raj has come on straight away and said no chance.
Great stuff there from Nathan Tyrrell. Good turn, making Jaffa think a bit. Who selected this Australian team? Well, yours truly actually selected the Aussie team, but with a lot of help from Sam Lang, the wicketkeeper and captain for Australia. Poor
misfield there could be 4 more. Ooh.
Looks like it could have been 4 there. That was tight. That's third time in quick succession that the Aussies have let it through on the boundary. This is disappointing stuff from them. There was that earlier opportunity that could have been a chance for Ziad Abbas in the deep.
It's been signalled for 4 as well. So just watch this again.
Disappointing stuff there.
Got his body behind it, so he's really tried to make amends there.
Just have a look at this. Does well to get it there. Yeah, clearly
4,
touching the rope at the same time. So the Aussies feeling the pressure here. I mean, these tight run chases like this, you really got to not give the opposition anything. Take your chances when they come, and it just seems like Australia have given India a bit here.
Interesting partnership this between Kohli and Jaffa. Kohli does not like running 2s unless it's off his bat. Jaffa wanted 2 there, he just sent him back straight away. But
good assertive play from the captain, sending back the former test start. Bowling there from Nathan Tyrrell.
Maybe this is a stroke of genius from the India side here, because Tyrrell definitely is a danger man for the Australians. He looks like the most likely man to get a wicket at the moment, and having Jaffa, who's just an amazing player of spin bowling, has certainly made it a completely different proposition for this Australian side.
Absolutely. Nathan Tyrrell, crucial spell here. So a reminder that it's an 18 over a side game. Reduced because of the late start.
Just while they're getting a drink here, maybe an opportunity to just jump in on the other game if possible.
So we're looking at the situation now. It's 6 overs gone in the other game. Pakistan 46 for 2 at the moment.
It's right in the balance, that, isn't it?
So Batty, the opener, 34 off 22, so he's well set. And your mate Bakari, 6 off 5.
Well, Bakari was absolutely full of it earlier in the week, so be interesting to see as Jaffa just pushes Srinivasa out into the covers. It's took me a week, Rob, but I got his name right there, so very excited by that.
Exceptional effort there.
Simple things.
So Srinivasan he's gone 1.1 overs for 10 runs. Really needed a wicket here to get this spell going. So Srinivasan bowling just a single there. Sam Lang, the keeper and captain, chases it down. Crucial stage here. 81 runs required to win. Wasim Jaffer at the crease and Rahul Kohli, the captain, 37 off 20 balls, 6 boundaries and a maximum as well. Brilliant batting from him. Just going for that swing again when he gives himself a bit of room. He's done that a couple of times to Puri Srinivasan now.
Just for some of these players, we've got 2 side screens here at Chester, and the TV stanchions are well above it. Kohli just mentioned that the cameraman may be moving. I think, he's asking an awful lot of a cameraman to stand still when it's probably 10 feet above the sight screen there.
Absolutely. You'd think maybe a few of these LMS players getting above their station. I think most LMS grounds are around the world. You'd be delighted to have a sight screen. Yeah. Srinivasan finishes the over well there. So 2 overs, none for 14 now for Puri. 79 runs required for victory from India in this reduced game. 18 overs aside, so 10 overs to go. The score is 61. Been really impressed here with Rahul Kohli. Shots all around the ground. Great wagon wheel so far. Nathan Tyrrell, as we were saying before, potentially a crucial bowler here for Australia, given that he's got the difference left arm orthodox spin, and we've seen prodigious turn from him throughout the tournament.
That's a lovely shot there. Jaffa comes down onto one leg. He's going to come back for a second run here. He's just so in control of what he's doing here. I think he's quite happy just to knock the ball round, give the straight back to Coley. Let Coley take the risk here. And it's just 80 needed off the final 10 overs here.
So Muzzer Murray coming in with a comment here. Get the sandpaper out, Marty. Well, do you think that the Aussies would benefit from sandpaper today with a wet ball?
Not so. I'd be very shocked if the sandpaper would be repeated. And there's a wicket on the back pitch, so Pakistan are in a bit of trouble here against Singapore.
There we go.
And that's gone high into the deep. Let's catch it.
Oh,
what a brilliant shot from Coley again. We're going to watch
Srinivasan trying to get round to it, couldn't quite get there. Reached out his left arm. It'll be good to have another look at that. So the other wicket in the other game was Harkarat Singh has clean bowled Bakari for 11 off 8 balls. So Pakistan now 53 for 3, requiring another 104 runs for victory from 11 overs. Have a look at this again. Puri coming round. Oh, it just seemed to be a 4 there. Right? Was that signal as a 4?
Yeah,
or
signal as a 4, yeah.
That was would have been an exceptional effort to get there. When we see where Puri's, well, he's moved around a little bit now, but would have been a fantastic
Jack
catch.
Wilcox, I can't believe Virat Kohli is playing today. It's his cousin Raul, but the way he's playing, it might as well be Virat today. He's smashing it all over the show.
Straight down the ground. Puri Srinivasan comes round. It'll just be the single there. So all poised in that other game with Singapore going well against Pakistan. So Nathan Tyrrell coming on again. 5th delivery, the last of his second over.
What a lovely shot that is.
Beautiful shot there, out to deep to Ziad Abbas. It'll just be the single, and that brings to an end the over. Just a reminder for all of you in India, if you want to join Last Man Stands or get involved in management, if you're interested in a management role, lastmanstands.com/franchise. If you want to join as a player or enter your team, you can find your team all over India. lastmanstands.com/join, as you can see on your screens now. Just hit up there. It only takes about a minute to register your details. The local manager will be in touch soon.
Just seeing on the screen here, would you like to hit a home run like Abdul Razak? Well, he was here with the co-branded Bass bat, smashing it all over the show. If you want to have a little look at that co-branded kit, then you've got www.lastmanstands.com/bass.
So that's the halfway point of this 18-over-a-side run chase. Reduced due to the late start, due to the wet conditions. So India 70 for 1 at the halfway point, requiring another 70 to win. So exactly halfway there.
They'd be absolute. They would have bitten the hand off someone for this.
Absolutely.
Halfway. No, they've got 7 wickets left, and they've got half the runs. This is just fabulous.
Brilliant stuff, and they've got Rahul Kohli almost in the sheds, their captain, on 44 off just 24 balls, 7 fours and a 6 so far for him. And Wasim
Big shot, massive appeal. Oh, he's giving it. He's giving Wasim Jaffa here. There's a bit of a...
Wasim Jaffa not looking too happy there.
He's absolutely... Well, to be fair, he's smiling, but he is pointing that's hit him halfway up the thigh here.
Well, maybe the bit of evening out the luck there with Australia feeling like they got a harsh call with big Ziad Abbas, but that is a massive wicket there. Puri Srinivasan getting out the former test star Wasim Jaffa for 20 off 15 balls.
Maybe that's a bit of luck the Australians needed, and maybe potentially this could be evened out from the first innings. I know Ziad Abbas wasn't overly happy, but we're going to have to watch that one back.
Absolutely, it'll be interesting, this one.
He was happy, he fancied it though, the bowler, didn't he? I'm just waiting for this one to come back on screen now. There's Wasim Jaffa.
So the former test star disappointed, and undoubtedly one of the best batsmen in the tournament of all of the marquee players. So that's a huge, huge wicket.
I know one of the guys on Facebook Live said if they could get Jaffa out for 20 or less, that Australia would win this game easily.
That's true. I believe that was Chris Baptista, Ziad Abbas's teammate.
So it's 20. So based on what he said there,
Jaffa, I think, just pointing at his thigh there, was he? Suggesting that height could have been an issue, maybe?
well, hopefully if we can get another look at it, that'd be great.
So strong umpiring there. Srinivasan out to Hayden Page from Canberra. So a crucial period here. Australia really needed to get back in the game. India were well on top at the halfway point of this 18-over chase. LBW there from Puri Srinivasan, much needed for the Aussies. You'd still say that India are well in control here.
It's absolutely key here that Kohli does not give this away.
Through to the keeper there. This is a big, big over from Puri Srinivasan. He's really bounced back well here. Had a misfield in the deep, but he hasn't let that affect him. He's really just producing an exceptional over here for Australia.
Well, this is Akshit Gulati here.
Last ball of Puri's over. Outside off, and that's the edge, and that's a bit of luck that India needed. That will run away for four, will it? Nathan Tyrrell with a great effort on the boundary. Goes for four, though. Brilliant effort from Nathan Tyrrell. Great conditions there, really flung himself at it, but a bit of luck there for India. What Gulati needed to get going.
Well, that's the problem Australia have got here. They need everything to be going their way here.
So, end of the 10th over, 76 for 2. Darren O'Connell, the father of Jake O'Connell, saying that he'd love to bowl on this track. Well, your son's got the opportunity here today, so hopefully we'll see him get a wicket from an Australian perspective. Lee.
I know the Chester Cricket Club are keen to speak to Darren about his son maybe coming to play here next season. So he may get the chance to bowl on it himself if he wants to come over as well. Mindless plugging.
Michael Farrow says that LMS cricket always brings out the best in players' temperament. Not sure if that's a
really good hands from Sam
sarcastic comment or not. Players' temperament. I think it's been very difficult for all these players during this tournament. They're coming on the main global LMS stage. Huge expectations for them. A lot of them have found it difficult to play their natural way just due to the pressure of the cameras on them and the expectancy of the team.
Quite an interesting comment there from Rajat Gowal. He believes that that's high in the air.
Is it going to be a field underneath it? I think he's misjudged it. Oh, it's gone all the way.
Strides off. Massive six from the captain.
So that's his retirement as well. So what a way to go from Rahul Kohli. He knew that he was within a six of retiring. Just does just that. 51 off 27 balls, 7 fours, 2 sixes. That's a captain's knock if ever I've seen one, lead. Exceptional stuff from Rahul Kohli. Big 6 down the ground, his second maximum down the ground. 4s to all parts. Brilliant innings. In the end, I think this cleared the ropes by a little way, didn't it? Couldn't quite pick that. Anyway, Nathan Tyrrell disappointed there, so he brings 2 new batsmen to the crease. Okay. Vaibhav Singh coming to the crease now.
Okay, so you've got 2 new batters to the crease here. The run rate is well in control. Do Australia bring some fielders into the ring here?
Well, it's a real difficult one because a lot of these Indians, you know they got the captain in the shed, so they may be going big themselves, and then you've got the chance of the wickets out at deep long on and deep mid-wicket. First shot just does go to mid-wicket. Puri Srinivasan comes in quickly, so that'll just be the single for the Indians.
So this is Vahab, who has got 2 retirement 50s this week against Pakistan and Scotland.
So 57 runs needed, 7.2 overs remaining. That one skids through, very low. Batsman very lucky that wasn't on the wicket, on the stumps there. So So it could be a few nerves here. It's an important couple of overs here, I think, Lee, for Australia, just to build a little bit of pressure, try and get that required run rate up a bit.
Massively so, massively so. As another wicket on the back pitch in the Pakistan-Singapore game.
Here comes Singapore. So Harkirat Singh with another wicket there. Gets out Bilal Afzal, one of the most popular players here at the tournament this week. Out for LBW for Pakistan off 4-ball duck. So now the score 73 for 4 after 9.3 overs.
The one key thing there is Mo Bhatti is actually retired in that. So he's got 50, that's 70. So the rest of the Pakistan side have really struggled so far. So it'd be interesting to see how quickly they can either get him back in or whether how quickly the rest of the guys can adapt to that back pitch.
Absolutely. Well, the captain now in, Abbas Khan. So he's a new batsman for Pakistan. They're on 73 after 9.3 overs, chasing 157 to win off their 18 overs. Back to the Australia game. Nathan Tyrrell's finished that over. 3 overs, none for 25 for him. Brilliant batting there from Rahul Kohli. Leo's very impressed with that innings.
And another wicket on the back pitch.
It's a big one. Well, they're certainly keen for Bhatti to come back in, the retiree. That's Harkirat Singh again, is it? Yep, he's clean bowled the captain. Abbas Khan clean bowled by Harkirat Singh for a golden duck. Harkirat now 3 wickets and he's only in his 2nd over.
So Shabazz Khan the other day was the match winner against England. He's going to have to do it again here. And that is a brilliant shot down the ground. Struck beautifully, and that's 4 more.
Vaibhav Singh showing his talent, just his 2nd delivery and a confident shot down the ground, beating Marty Henderson, who was coming round.
So this morning, if I'd have said to you, Rob, potentially India and Singapore could knock out Pakistan and Australia, what would you have said?
Oh, I would assume that you had been in Rosie's until 6 AM in the morning, and I certainly wouldn't have picked that. The 2 favourites for these games at the moment going out, and you can't really say that Wasim Jaffer playing for India had a huge influence on the game in the end. He didn't pick up any wickets and he got 20 or 15 with the bat, which is relatively average. So you can't blame the Jaffer.
It's good. Page batted brilliantly in the first innings. He's bowled a really good slower ball. He's followed it up with a Yorker here. He's trying to make the difference.
So can Hayden Page be man of match here if he pulls out a great bowling performance following up from his quick-fire batting and last man stands effort. 40 off 24 for him, unbeaten with the bat.
Abu Haider wants to see Ziad Abbas come on.
There we go. Page comes in quickly and brought back memories of that run out yesterday against South Africa. South Africa started very well against the Australians, going brilliantly with Martin van Wyk scoring runs all over the place. Just bunted one down and it was a brilliant pick up and throw from Pagey. Really turned that game.
Patrick Richardson here is happy. Good couple of balls here from Page.
Hayden Page coming in for his last delivery of his first over. Careful from the Indians, out to Nathan Tyrrell down at wide 3rd man, just a single there. Brings to an end the 12th over, 91 for 2 now after 12 overs, so 6 overs remaining, 49 runs required from 30 balls. So crucial stage here for both teams. 49 needed from 30 balls, the required run rate now at 8.17. 2 new batsmen at the crease. Very important for Australia to keep it tight here. But for me, I'd say India are still well in control here. They've got the retiree in the sheds. They know that they can go hard. Going at 8 and over in last man stands when you've got wickets in hand isn't too much of a push.
It's a big partnership this, because both these batters have actually done really well for India in the middle order. So we shall see. Lovely shot from Akshay. He just comes down to 3rd man rolled in.
Hayden Page back in, so Nathan Tyrrell, he'll be looking to get a bit of that turn we've seen throughout the tournament. He's trying to keep the ball dry just to get a bit more grip on it for that.
Realistically, what Australia need, they need 2 tight overs here, maybe go for 4 or 5 runs and over and pick up 1 or 2 wickets just to give themselves any real fighting chance towards the end here, because like you said, that 7, 8 and over, you've got a man in the hutch there. You get the impression that one of these, especially Vahab, will probably start lining a few up.
Absolutely. So now 47 required from 28 balls is the equation in this match. Nathan Tyrrell bowling his 3rd over. Sunders coming out. That was good turn there from Tyrrell, so that will give something to Akshit Gulati to think about there. Sam Lang, the Australian captain, behind the stumps. Gulati and Vaibhav Singh at the crease. Singh has already shown us what he can do with that straight boundary down the ground.
It's gone high.
It's gone high. Hayden Page couldn't quite get there. You think maybe dry conditions, he would have really attacked that, but it's tough in these conditions because you don't want to give away the boundary, and if you dive forward there, that could have shot through.
So we're going to just see what the people on Facebook Live think. If you think Australia are going to win this game, I want a thumbs up on Facebook Live here. If you think India are going to get over the line, I want to see a love heart clicked on there, and let's see where we think this game's going, because I think a few people think that maybe Australia are pulling it back.
Absolutely, and I'll be handing over now to Wayne Grieve, founder of Last Man Stands. He'll be taking us through to the close. And Wayne will also be giving us a update on the tournament scheduling.
Thanks, Rob. This is turning out to be another humdinger of a match. That last over from Tyrrell, let's just put the game back in the balance. I think this is an even game.
It's a lovely shot there. Out for 1. So I just asked Wayno if people at home who they thought were going to win. The thumbs up were for Australia, the hearts were for India. And they're flying in at the moment.
Not too many hearts, lots of thumbs up. Are there any Indian supporters out there? There we go. There's some hearts.
Yeah.
We feel love in the commentary box, Shelley.
Love any interaction with our supporters at home. There's a good chance. 1 bounce out to Jake O'Connell.
So these last 8 balls, Australia have won them. Only singles and dot balls. You feel this big moment coming, Yali. Something has to give.
Yeah, something does have to give here, and all of a sudden a lot of the Australian fans seem to be buoyed by what's going on here. Into the wicket. And another single. So this game at the moment, what looked dead about 10 minutes ago, is just coming back to Australia.
And Hayden Page is having a blunder here.
Deserves a wicket here, by beautifully.
That's a great shot.
That is exactly what India needed. And that's 4 more. Tell you what, Wayno, it's right in the balance on the back pitch as well. Only 6 overs left. Required run rate nearly at 9.
And he's giving him on the back pitch another wicket.
He's going to bring Mo Batty back to the crease, I think, shortly. So, Wayno, obviously there's been a lot of moving around the schedule to get as much good cricket in as possible here, to get these quarterfinals in. What's the plan for the rest of the day?
The plan is we've had to bring the semi-final start times in by half an hour. The second semi-final, which was due to be played at 2, will now start at around 11:15 UK time. Both semi-finals will take place at the same time because there's a lot more rain around today. There's talk of thunder showers around 4 this afternoon, so that the aim is to have the final starting by 2. So that'll suit the viewers in Australia who will be up watching. Australia have obviously got a lot of work to do for their team to get through here.
Very sensible batting from this pair. I feel like one of them, Wayne, can really put his foot down now, though. I think they've got a licence. I think if someone could come and get maybe 20 or 10 balls now, this game's done and dusted.
I agree with you. This is only an 18-over match. So if you just joined us, just be aware there's 10 balls left for India here. Well, that's gone long and straight. This could be caught. Page is under it. Shot from Matt Angus. We don't need wickets. We just need ones.
It's a lovely shot again, out into the deep. They're going to have to push here. Go look for two. It's an awful long way out there, and the Indians are just starting to stall here. Australia are coming back into the game.
So Marty Henderson. What's he got here? Is it going to be a slow ball? It's gone for the Yorker.
Akshat Gulati there out to... The Indian team are just starting to get quite animated on the side, Wayne.
Yeah, the boundaries have dried up here. The run rate required now going above 10 for the first time.
It's another one. Darren O'Connell, he reckons the Indians are choking here.
It could appear that way, but a long way to go.
Uday asking for Gulati to show some biggies. I'm presuming they're big sixes.
So on the main pitch, it's going to be England. That game will follow shortly at the end of this game. There'll be a quick turnaround. We want to get the games in before the afternoon weather that's predicted.
A few more Indians getting up now. As a dot ball from Ziad Abbas. And all of a sudden, the run rate is rising here. The Indians are finding it very difficult to get the ball away. 33 or 14 here. Abbas comes in. That's a great shot over extra, but it's going to be another single. It's not going to be enough. They should be looking for two here.
And I love the way Sam Lang is bringing all his players into it. Not many captains would have gone to their sixth bowl at this stage of the innings, Lee. So, great show of faith in his teammates here.
Good shot here. It's run away. And it's 4.
So, Lee, I just think it's going to be the one over from Abbas there. O'Connell's still got an over to go. So is Henderson.
Abbas has bowled a lot of death overs in this tournament so far, we know. So, I'm expecting him maybe to get one more.
I'd be surprised if that's the case, with O'Connell still having one to go.
They maybe go look for two here. Vahab may come back.
I think the Indian supporters are a little bit disappointed with the run in between the wickets.
Brodie Kenyon said the Indians just can't find the boundary, let alone 2 and over.
Brodie Kenyon, he plays with Brodie Dwyer and Marty Henderson, the same team, the second 11, the famous second 11 from Ipswich. He's a very good player in his own right.
That wasn't a bad over at all from Abbas there. I think he may get a second over, you know. I really do. I think he might.
He's a confident man. It's going to be very interesting. Sandhang's got options here. O'Connell's got one. Henderson's got one. Bass he's obviously still got 2 more if he's needed, but I think he's going to go O'Connell then Henderson.
This is a massive over though, isn't it? This is the one. If they can take this over for 12, 13. But all of a sudden, the run rate is getting a little bit out of control here. It's up at 13 and over. This is going to be O'Connell round the wicket from the Ronfleet end to Akshit Gulati. Round the wicket, hit hard through point.
That's going to be four.
And that's four. So a massive start for India here. O'Connell went death bowling there. He went into the block hole, just fractionally over pitched. Gulati backed away, and he's just sided it through backward a point, and that's four, and that brings the game back to India again here, Wayne.
So close to being an excellent ball. Small margins, just a little bit full. It's too full again.
Going to look for two again. Marty Henderson's coming round. Could there be three? Could there be three?
That's outstanding fielding from Henderson there, and poor running from India.
So that's six. So that's six off the first two balls here. I think another boundary now will put the pressure massively on this young man, Jake O'Connell.
He's bowling downwind. He bowled his first spell upwind, against the wind. He's got to adjust his length here. Oh, it's one more.
Right, I think that's hit him on the shoulder. He's done him completely for pace there. Just past Sam Lang. He was wrong-footed, came off the shoulder, run down in front of us in the commentary box here.
Just as when all the Australians were commenting that 13.5 and over is too much, the guy's back in the balance again.
Cheryl Kane's mentioning that Pakistan are 97 for 6 of 13, chasing 156. Just have a little check up on that. It's 105 now on the back pitch. That's another good shot out in the deep. We've got to look for two here.
It's gone. I think India have lost the plot here. They're pushing for two, but it's very unlikely Kohli's going to get back to the crease anyway. So now they're going to have a new batsman coming in. There was never two there.
Well, Vahab is 13 off 15. Gulati made it very clear that he wasn't running the second there. I get the impression the Indians are almost...
They're just short of game plan.
Yeah, they are. They're calling on from the side. It's causing confusion. But that was a straightforward run out.
But the new batsman's a left-hander, Meg. So watch this shot. It's a great throw. And Sam Lang does the rest.
So how many balls we've got left here, Wayno?
8. Is that correct?
No.
8.
16 off 6.
6 balls left. There's only 6 balls left in this match.
So the thing to factor in for the people at home is that obviously if India get within 12, then that last ball means that they can definitely have a dip at winning the game. But honestly, 20 minutes ago, would the Indian team believe that they would need 16 off 6 balls?
Just shows how quickly it can turn in last man stands cricket.
This game was all over, and this is Meg, the keeper here, so he's a lot quicker between the wicket. I think he's going to struggle though running with that Gulati here.
Swing
and that's a dot ball from O'Connell, and that's the end of the over. 15 off the last for India.
O'Connell coming back superbly there. Boundary, then the run out, and then the swing and the miss.
In the scheme of things, Wayne, that's a brilliant over, isn't it? It really is a brilliant over.
Oh, and you're correct, Lee. They've gone to a bus. I thought they're going to give Marty Henderson the last over here.
I just think his variation, Wayne, is where they're going to go with it. Henderson bowled pretty well to start with, but he is up and around. You know, he hasn't maybe got the variations Abbas has. As Sam Lang throws his helmet off the pitch, he doesn't want any sort of 5. So he's got that off the field here, and this is a massive start to the over here. In the slot, going to have to look for 2. Meg's going to have to come back here. He is.
Oh, the pressure's getting to everyone, yeah.
There's a missed field at long on there. Abbas still encouraging the fielder there. He's a very, very calm and influence on this Australian side. You watch him around the group, he speaks calmly. Very, very good. Into the slot. Is that 4?
That's 4 runs.
That's 4. Oh, wow. We're going to have a grandstand finish here at Filkins Lane. It's going to go right to the death.
Who's your money on?
At this stage, I've got a feeling that India may just get over the line.
I think Aussies have got this in the bag. I think there's a dot ball coming here.
This could go for 4, this.
No, that's 2. That's going to be 2. He's the big arm.
I love that. Just for a few of the young players at home, always try and run your bat in. Akshit Gulati there has just gone for like a long jump approach into the crease there. Very much enjoyed that.
So no matter what happens, this is going to come down to the final ball of the innings, yeah.
So Abbas here has bowled a few different balls. I think he's going to go to the slower ball here. I think he's going to make Gulati try and fetch it into the leg side. High. So they've got to come back for 2 here. They can't leave Meg on strike for the final ball. Surely not.
So
that is just... I'm sorry, that's...
So 60 tie. Well, it's not going to be a tie because 6 here is a 12. So this is either going to be Australia winning it here comfortably. Well, comfortably, but at least by 6 margin run, yeah.
I just can't believe that from India. Meg could prove me wrong here, but how can you have a guy who's 42 off 24 stood at the non-striker's end for the final ball as Meg goes high?
Australia
it's all over! Ziad Abbas, the hero at the end here. Gulati on his haunches. He knows that they had a real chance to win the match. And Jake O'Connell's run down and tried to run someone out. I think the ball's dead by then. But it's all over. And honestly, Wayne, that is just fantastic cricket from Australia. But India, they've got a bit of soul searching to do there.
That's this Australian team are close-knit outfit, well led by Steve Emmett, the manager. It just shows what team spirit and camaraderie can do in any sport league. And Australia looked dead and buried there, and they've come back from nowhere to win that game. So Lee, that was one of the more exciting games in the tournament.
It really has been. It's been fantastic and a great way to start finals day here. As we see them walk off, that's the end of India's race, I'm afraid, and we're going to go to the back pitch. So we're going on to the back pitch here, so we're just going to fractionally delay the interviews. It's so close also on the back pitch here. Got Mo Bhatti doing very, very well, but he is the last man standing here. And he's going to have to go some to win this game for Pakistan on the back. He's 58 not out. The required run rate up at 9s. I really enjoyed that reaction from Ziad Abbas at the end. One of those iconic moments there. He has the look of an Adonis as his arms aloft in the middle of the pitch. He knew he'd done it for his country, and we'll see him in the semi-final.
And a touch of class from Sam Lang there, going to Meg and just putting an arm around his shoulder and saying, bad luck, bud.
It was bad luck, but I'll be totally honest with you, Wayne, he should never have been put in that situation in the first place.
Yeah, I think India in the middle overs just lost the plot. Too much shouting from the boundary. They needed a calm head. I don't think Varbag needed to run that 2 there. They weren't running 2s early in the innings, and that ultimately put them under pressure. So it looks like Singapore are going to join Australia in the semi-finals, Yali.
It does look that way. The only thing I'd say is, if they wanted one player in this team to be the last man standing in Pakistan, it'd be Mo Bhatti. So watching across here.
Batty 58 from 39.
Good
So
finish.
perhaps Pakistan still have it.
Blah, 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 blah.
Going to come back for two. He's got. Oh no, he's changed his mind. He's changed his mind. He didn't think there was two. So another dot ball.
I can't recall the odds.
And the run rate's starting to get out of hand there.
Yeah. I guess again, the first innings, not the Aussies.
But as you say, Batty's played some unbelievable knocks in this tournament.
20 overs. Is it 18? Yeah.
The scorecard for the Pakistani innings is a bit of a sorry affair. There's 3 ducks there. Only one other person, Maman Zohr, getting to 30.
Aye.
And Bakari with 11. No one else getting past double figures. So it's all down to Mubashir Batty here. I know a lot of people, a lot of our friends will be watching it down in Pakistan, keeping an eye on this score.
We're going to be having to call it a break of at least 2 hours, you know.
For the Australian viewers,
Is it?
don't go anywhere.
We'll probably not
45
finish
minutes time. Half an hour to 45 minutes.
game week
England
here then, 'cause
versus
it's
Australia
gonna go off about
coming up on this
12
main pitch.
and then a final later on. Yeah,
We'll
it's
keep you
at
posted
8,
on that as we
1,
watch the end of the
2
Singapore
at 11,
Pakistan game.
and then 1, 2 on at 3 o'clock. Well, it's at 2:30, and then the final, obviously, once that's done. So if the Australians actually
Batty's
do well
got
today,
inside edge.
they play 3
I think that's gone for 4. So just going to get Rob Stevenson back into the commentary box. Rob, have you got any news from the Australian camp? They must be delighted with that win.
Oh, absolutely delighted. They're totally pumped, the guys. Ziad Abbas, I wasn't surprised seeing bowl the last over. He's a big moment player, and he
Hold up there.
kept his cool there. I really do feel for the Indians, though, just seeing them coming off the field, and a couple of the guys, especially their captain, Rahul Kohli. What a terrific innings from him, and really the kind of innings that should have ended up on the winning side. But Australia kept their cool heads at a stage when it looked like India were running away with it. So brilliant win from them.
And I love the way Sam Lang's bringing all his team members into it. Got Matt Angus in up at number 3. Didn't quite work, but he's giving all the guys a show of confidence as we look at Batty. This could be the end of the game. A good throw. No, Batty's on for 2.
So situation now, Batty comes back for 2, so that should take him to 64 off 44 balls. 119 the score now after 16.3 overs. So what have we got here? So another 7 balls left. A lot of runs needed.
Quite hard to see the ball today, I think.
Oh, the man they call the Batty has gone long.
I'm struggling to see it down there.
Maybe this game isn't over, Rob.
There we go. Let's see what's that from the umpire. So
6.
he's signalled 6 there. So
Batty moves on to 70 from 45.
32. We could see a century here from the Pakistani to win the game for his side. Need to get 157 to win here, Pakistan.
You've got a feeling that if they've got any chance, it's going to rely on a home run, yeah.
Absolutely. 6 deliveries left.
They need 30 to win. 32.
32 to win off 6 deliveries. So he's got to keep doing a few of those short boundaries here on that backfield. So anything straight should clear the ropes. He's gone big, and that's the edge down there. It's gonna. Is that one run away? So not quite enough. It's pretty much 6s that he's needing now, but he'll take the 4 there. But it brings him into the last over, and at least he's given himself a chance there. So 28 runs required from the last over.
So effectively that's 16 from 4, and then giving himself a chance. So pretty much a boundary every ball here is required, Rob.
Absolutely, or even more than a boundary. A few 6s required, including the home run. There we go. So Brett McDonald says, "Woohoo Australia, give us 15 minutes before the next one. Got to go and get some cheesels."
And Brody Kenyon's just pouring another bourbon. He's getting ready for a long night. He'll be proud of Brody Dwyer and Marty Henderson, 2 of his teammates from the second 11. They play the LMS cricket in Ipswich. And he'll be very proud of his 2 teammates. They played a lot together, Rob.
Absolutely. Pretty sure that the Racecourse Tavern's going to be running out of bourbons tonight if Australia go all the way with those second 11 lads. So here we go, coming into the last over. What can Batty do? He's led from the front, opened the innings, 74 not out of 46 balls. Crucial last over here. Great bowling, straight through to the keeper. Dot ball, that's massive, Wayne.
Yeah, and it's very clever bowling. The boundary straight is a bit shorter than the square boundary there. So he's digging it into the pitch.
So they've gone for the last over to Vineet Pulakottal. 3 overs, 1 for 16 for him, so terrific spell so far. Bit high, is that
the dot ball?
Dot ball there.
The dot ball.
So that, you'd say, almost
I think that's it.
almost
6,
ends it
6,
there.
6.
Need a no ball or something here to keep Pakistan in it. Muaz Sajid, Pakistan don't win easy ever. This is true. They're a fantastic talent, the Pakistani
So
cricket
Singapore
team.
look like they're going through there.
They're going to be hard pushed here though. Really need some freak deliveries. Vineet's got to totally lose it here and bowl a few full tosses that get dispatched. So Singapore on the verge of a semi-final. Who would have picked that at the start of the tournament, Wayne, especially with how strong Pakistan were looking in the early stages.
No, that didn't see that one coming. Batty goes long. Could this be 6? He held out. That's game over.
That's it, held in the deep, and Singapore has reached the semi-final of the LMS World Series. A brilliant performance from them. Unbelievable stuff in this game, and they've done it without Manpreet Singh dominating either, so they've shown that they can step up without their star player performing. Huge upset there.
So they'll be taking on Ajanta Mendes of Sri Lanka in the semi-final. Unfortunately, we can't live stream both semi-finals at the same time, but we'll be crossing over to that game on a regular basis.
Absolutely, it'd be wonderful to be able to watch both semi-finals live streamed, but given these unpredictable weather conditions near the Welsh border, rain coming in from the hills.
And we're going to cross over to Nick Compton. He's with Sam Lang and Wasim Jaffer for the post-match interviews, and it'll be really good to listen to Sam Lang talk about the innings. I'm sure he's going to mention Hayden Page in this interview.
Well, it's been a bit of a mad rush this morning with a lot of rain around. The pitch is wet, the outfield's wet, so we've done incredibly well to get the first quarter-final underway between Australia and India. Unfortunately for India, they're going to go home. They narrowly lost, 138 played 134, so a very tight game, as has been the way with the series at large. I'm going to come to you, Wasim Jaffer, the marquee player for India. Obviously a tricky situation. The pitch is obviously a bit slow and conditions not great.
Yeah, but we had everything under control. I think they bowled well in the middle overs. They controlled the game really well, and somewhere we lost the plot. So you got to give credit to Australians. They played well under pressure, and good luck to them for the next game.
Where did it actually go wrong?
I think we leaked a little bit too many runs in the last 2 overs. I think that probably cost us, and then lost in the middle overs. We couldn't get the boundaries which we should have. In 138 in 18 overs should have been chased.
Sure, and your experiences of LMS, have you enjoyed it?
Really interesting concept, but I really enjoyed it. As the game went on, I understood the rules more better and really enjoyed it, yeah.
Oh, mate, it's great being having you here. I'm going to come to a very happy and excited Australian captain who gets to play England in the semi-final, mate. You must be delighted with that.
Yeah, it was looking a bit tight there to the end, but we've been looking forward to a couple of games this trip, and it's been Saffers yesterday and you boys were hoping for maybe in the final, but we're happy to knock you out early. So.
You've got better and better as the competition's gone along.
We have. I think a few boys give me a heart attack each game, but we've just capitalised on every chance we've had. As I said yesterday, that first game we sort of on the back foot, and we've just capitalised on every little thing as we've gone through.
Oh, great stuff, mate. Well, listen, we're going to try and get out there for the semi-final before it starts raining again. We've got to get a couple of games in, but it's been a classic game again.
So thanks to Nick Compton there for that interview, and it'll be interesting to see how the Australians deal with his wonderful batting in the semi-final. So a real big matchup coming up soon for you. England versus Australia. LMS England versus LMS Australia. In the semi-final at the same time on the back pitch, we'll have LMS Sri Lanka versus LMS Singapore. Starting in about 25 minutes time. So go off, take a breather, let your heart rate go down, and then come and join us again for the semi-finals of the Last Man Stands World Series. We look forward to having you then.